Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
When the boss is away, and the number one solution for most businesses' challenges, that's what I'm going to share with you today. Welcome to the Push to Pass podcast. So what happens when you, as the boss or the manager or the leader, leave the office? When I owned the Murray Company and managed a significant team, I laughed when lots of good things would happen when I was on vacation or out of the office. Man, whenever I walked out the door or exited, and the folks had multiple days together to collaborate and execute, they did great. It happened every time. New sales, new clients, positive movement on projects, and the benefit also was that I was less stressed because I had a little margin, took a little time off. What I should have realized was that I was maybe a log jam or barrier to my team being successful. This was certainly not the intent, but instead of something to laugh about, it probably deserved a little bit more self-awareness and reflection. In other words, did I need to restructure procedure and engagement to get the hell out of the way and let people do their thing? As I look back, I was a bottleneck. And also, when the present team members sought to get a go-ahead or an approval, or they wanted to collaborate or run something by me, I may have in fact slowed them down because they were less proactive, less independent. They didn't work as well and make decisions because they felt like they needed to run things by me just because of my proximity. So instead of joking, man, things go really well when the boss isn't there. Ha ha ha. Man, things go pretty well when the boss isn't here. Should be more the reaction. Maybe we need a more serious reflection, and I would have changed my leadership style and even my role in the organization from what it has been to what it needs to be. Because early in the life of the company, I'm sure running things through me was important because we wanted to set up our processes and procedures and our culture and the way we work together. But don't lie to yourself. Become super reflective of your impact and make a change that sets up your role to be more productive and enables your team to grow in its independence and in their decision-making habits. Now, let's talk about the most effective solution to business problems, which is hardly ever talked about. After 35 years in business, I've identified one thing that causes these things: lawsuits, dropped clients, terminated employees, clients' dissatisfaction, cost overruns, missed deadlines, and a bad culture. It's this: people do not do what they say they are going to do. I've been the culprit. I've also been the victim of this. So my advice to you is to keep it very simple. This is what I'm going to do for you and by when, and then do it. Isn't business simple? And the more often this is executed, this simple rule or guideline, the better your business is going to be in almost every single facet, internally and externally. This is what I'm going to do for you and by when, and then execute it. Man, I hope this is helpful to you. I want to thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast. Next week, I'll be coming to you from Indianapolis Motor Speedway before the 106th running of the Indy 500, and I can't wait to have some special content for you. Talk next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.